Googly Moogly, Monday, March the 27th. My name is Sean Carrier. Thank you for watching Bet Edge. This is our second pick we've got up today. We got a big game breakdown. We broke down the Cleveland Cavaliers San Antonio Spurs matchup, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. Look for that video, and if you're not doing so already, be sure to give us a follow over on Twitter at bet_edge. That's our homepage. All of our picks, videos, and betting tools get posted up there, and it's all absolutely free. So be sure to give us a follow over on Twitter at bet_edge. I will post a link in the description below. But we've got another stellar pick here in the association. The Memphis Grizzlies heading to Sacramento to take on the Kings. And I love the Memphis Grizzlies to win this game by margin. This should be a slaughter tonight in Sacramento, so let's get right to it. Memphis Grizzlies 19-19 on the road, a better winning percentage than Sacramento holds on their home court. They're only 14-22 at home this year, absolutely struggling to protect their home floor, and it's not getting any easier tonight with the Memphis Grizzlies in town. As you can see here, straight head-to-head dominance by the Grizzlies. They've met twice this year, have these two teams. The Grizzlies have won both by double digits. I mean, these games are not close. Sacramento really here, only with 2 wins over Memphis, dating all the way back to November 2014. So in their last 10, they've only managed to beat Memphis twice, and we're going to look for that streak to continue tonight. Memphis not in the greatest of spots. They've got a bunch of travel here. This will be their 7th consecutive court change, and they've actually lost 3 games in a row. So not the greatest of signs that we want to see when we're looking at this Memphis side of the coin. But I really feel like the ship is about to turn. This loss to New Orleans, not a great one by any stretch of the imagination, but they really had no chance this next game in San Antonio, as it was a revenge match from about a week ago where they beat the Spurs, and they rested Marc Gasol in this game against the Warriors last night. So it is a bad spot for Memphis, but when we look at the Sacramento side of the coin, they're in just as bad of a spot. This is also their 7th consecutive court change. As you can see here, they went from Sacramento to Phoenix to Oklahoma to San Antonio, home for 1 game, out to Golden State, then to LA before returning home tonight to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. And if anyone saw this game yesterday, one of the craziest comebacks you will ever see. The Sacramento Kings were down 18 points with 5 minutes to go in the basketball game and ended up winning the game. So their spirits were probably high after that win. I would be shocked if there wasn't a little bit of celebrating on that plane ride home, and maybe once it landed also when they got back home to Sacramento. I mean, if you're not going to celebrate a win like that in a season like the Kings are having, they're just never going to celebrate, right? So that they could definitely be in trouble there. But something that is even more alarming for this team is the way that they've been performing on the second nights of back-to-backs recently. As you can see here, a tough game against Washington, and then the next night, a back-to-back against Denver, and they lost that game by 13 points. I believe I saw another one in here, right here. They took on OKC, then went to San Antonio and lost by 16. So not only are they losing these second nights of back-to-backs, they're not covering. They're not really in these games. The effort just does not seem to be there, which is the key thing. And we're going to expect more of the same tonight as they take on Memphis. There's something to build on there that we'll get to in just a second, but we'll get to the referees before they disappear here. We've got Mr. Dan Crawford, Merritt Kogut, and Kevin Scott. I do not mind that crew at all. 3 solid officials for tonight's game. Oh, sorry. What happened there? There we go. So when we get down to the day's rest, there's definitely some pertinent information here, as both teams coming off 0 days rest, both on that back-to-back, but one of these teams seems to perform much, much better in these spots. So Memphis here, as you can see, 11-4 straight up, and their numbers don't differentiate too much. They go from 102 points for to just under 101, so just a 1 point difference, and their defense actually gets better, going from 99 to 98. So very much the exact same team on that back-to-back, which is great to see. The same cannot be said for Sacramento, though. 4-12 on those second nights of back-to-back. They score 6 points less, and their defense gets a little better, giving up 2 points less. But they're definitely, those numbers are a little bit worse for Sacramento. And Memphis seems to, the back-to-back just does not seem to bother them too much for whatever reason that it may be. Tony Allen questionable for tonight. Marc Gasol here listed as doubtful, as he was held out of the previous game. But I've been reading some things here that make me believe he might be playing tonight. They're in that race. I believe they're sitting in 7th right now, which would have them squaring off against the Spurs. And they're only a game and a half out of 6th, I believe. So they really need some of these wins here. And Sacramento with some injury problems of their own. Lawson has missed the last few games. He's questionable tonight. And then Richardson and Gay both out for the season. Sacramento, I don't want to call them a deep team, but if you look at their minutes, their bench almost plays the same amount of minutes as their starters. And it's not because they're deep, it's because their starters aren't very good, right? So we'll get to the stat graphic here. Hey, this is the wrong game. Here we go. My apologies, everybody, but we're good to go here. So just dive right into the summary. Memphis has won both of the previous meetings this year, and both by more than 10 points, so double-digit victories for Memphis. And Memphis here, with their record on that back-to-back, is just so much better than the Kings' record is. And Sacramento's 7th consecutive court change. Memphis also with that 7th consecutive court change. But Sacramento will be playing their 6th game in 10 nights. And Memphis here, they're the better basketball team. The numbers illustrate it. They've got edges in offense per 100 possessions, defensive edges, and edges in the rebounding and turnover percentage. So they should have more looks at the basket tonight here with these two stats. And they're just going to be more efficient on both sides of the basketball. And we're really going to look for this back-to-back to tank the Kings as it normally does. And Memphis just, they play with energy no matter what. They're very, as the Spurs are that model of consistency, the Memphis also a model of consistency, just maybe a class lower than your San Antonio Spurs. But consistent nonetheless, and we believe that that's going to really help them tonight on that back-to-back. It's enough reasons for us to pull the trigger here with the Memphis Grizzlies minus the 6.5 points in Sacramento tonight. So put it on the board. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to be a bet edge winner. So we hope this video helps all of your selections in the NBA tonight, everybody. As always, thank you for tuning in. Good night and good luck.